Hey, I saw this video online. Skeet Black was talking about people saying down south not part of Miami, not part of the real Miami. And I saw it on another platform too, where it looked like they was referencing that conversation. The thing about Miami is county oriented, meaning you don't really meet people from Chicago that say they from Cook County. People from Memphis saying they from Shelby County. People from Atlanta saying they from Fulton County. But when you meet somebody from Miami, they saying they from Miami-Dade County. They may or may not be from the city of Miami. They could be from, because Dade County got 1,000 municipalities. They could be from South Miami. They could be from North Miami. They could be from North Miami Beach. They could be from Hialeah. They could be from Hialeah Gardens. They could be from Miami Gardens. They could be from Miami Lakes. They could be from El Portal. They could, it's that list goes on. But our orientation is county oriented. You hear it in the music references, born and raised in the county of Dade. You could see it in the way that the community is structured. It's Miami-Dade public schools, Miami-Dade parks, the public transportation, the police, everything is county oriented. Some of the cities got their own, obviously got their own functions, but the orientation is still county. So you got Dade County basically from 215th Street to the north, all the way to the beach, Chrome Ave to the west, and then the end of the mainland of the state, basically like 424th Street Southwest, something like that. But the end of the state, the bottom of the state, before you start going to the Keys. All that's Dade County. So anybody that's from anywhere in that, say they from Miami, they technically right, because it's Miami-Dade County. We really don't even get into the specifics of all of that unless it's two Miami people talking. So if you from Delaware, yeah, we're gonna tell you we from Miami. Now, if it's two Miami people talking, to get specific, like Carol City, Opelika, Goulds, Richmond Heights, Town, whatever, right? Now, the city of Miami, you really only talking about a couple areas in that official boundary in the city of Miami. The Grove, Town, Alapata, Wynwood, Little Havana, Little Haiti, and some parts of Liberty City. Not all of Liberty City is in the city of Miami. For example, and there's some areas in that we consider to be the real Miami that's not in the city of Miami. For example, Brown Sub, not in the city of Miami. Everything west of 19th Ave above 112 is not in the city of Miami. That's Lincoln Field, that's Gwen Cherry, where the Scots used to be at, African Heritage Cultural Arts Center, shout out Marshall Davis. That's not in, none of that is city of Miami. If you look at, you could go on Gwen Cherry website, you'll see it's miamidade.gov. That's a county, it's a county park. So everything north of 79th Street, that's not city of Miami. So that's West Little River, USA Flea Market, Poonville, Robin Hood. I might be showing my age with them, but I'm just my generation. So, and we consider all that to be Miami, the real Miami. And they're not in the city within the actual city boundaries, right? So I don't know if that conversation is about culture or if it's about like specific, city boundaries, because you gotta spotlight Fisher Island, for example, and shout out to Dana Dorsey, who was the black man millionaire who originally owned the island and sold it to the Fishers. But I don't know, in 2025, I don't really think that's what y'all thinking about when we talking about the real Miami. To that Fisher Island make the cut and Carol City don't, or Brickell make the cut and Florida City don't. That don't really add up. But what I'm saying is, if you saying certain neighborhoods that's in Miami-Dade County that's always been considered to be a part of Miami is not Miami, if it's based on the boundaries, then it's a lot of neighborhoods that ain't making that cut. And it's a lot of neighborhoods that, again, we always and still know is the real Miami, that wouldn't make that cut. And I know that whole conversation came from Amaretta and her, the Not Atlanta song. A shout out to Amaretta, very beautiful and talented. I know that's where that different cities started doing their rendition of it. But like I said in the beginning, that work in Atlanta because Atlanta is city oriented. Don't nobody from Atlanta City from Fulton County. You look at the map of Atlanta, it's a circle, a straight line and a horizontal line like a crosshair. 285, I-75, 85 going north and south, I-20 going east and west. They got north side, east side, north side, west side, south side. And they got zones in Atlanta too. But when you look at that map, Fulton County take up half of that circle. It go a little bit outside of the north of the circle, a little bit outside the west and the south part of the circle. And then you look at the city of Atlanta map, it's all within that, it's within the circle, and it go out to the south and to the west slightly. And then it's a cutout where College Park and East Point is. Saying all that to say, they city oriented, and so that conversation makes sense for them. But you can't take a concept that's city oriented and apply it somewhere where it's a county orientation. They just talking about a city, whereas our orientation is the size of some states. That's the whole southeast part of the state that people represent. You know what I'm saying? But just to bring this home, what we do need to pay attention to, and if you concerned about these city boundaries and all of that, it was a move to annex Brown Sub. It didn't happen, but they was trying to make Brown Sub a part of Hialeah. And I put a picture, a screenshot of it in the post. They're not talking about incorporating it into the city of Miami. So if you're from Brown Sub, if you got family from Brown Sub, ties to Brown Sub, you should pay attention to that, because it's gonna have implications. You're talking about property tax, business tax, sales tax. I'm from pre-2003 Carol City, so I remember before it was Miami Gardens, and we was considered unincorporated Opa-locka, if y'all remember. So it definitely it's some significant changes when your area it gets incorporated into city boundaries. The same thing about that area that include Gwen Cherry, Lincoln Field is a area called Gladeview, and it's also some conversation about that area getting incorporated into the city of Miami. So, again, if y'all concerned about that, you should really pay attention to it. Tap in with your county commissioner, Keon Hardeman, your city commissioner, Christine King, and find out when them zoning and planning meetings happening, so y'all could, this is probably where you want to put that energy. But I think up until then, we don't need no division, man. You know what I'm saying? Like our orientation is to the county. We need to keep it there. Shout out to down south, South Miami, Kendall, Richmond Heights, Goulds, Perrine, Naranja, Homestead, Florida City. Shout out to Uptown, Carol City, the Woods. Shout out Opelika, North Miami Beach, Hialeah, Seminole. Brown. So everything that ain't in them particular boundaries, but still in the county, that's our orientation, and that's what we need to stand on. So